Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in again. Some MMOs are already a decade old and still going, however some are not as fortunate. In today's video we're going to take a look at the top 5 MMOs with the shortest lifespan ever. The first game on our list is Tabula Rasa with a lifespan of only 484 days. Tabula Rasa was an MMORPG developed by Destination Games and published by NCSoft. Designed in part by some of the creators of Ultima Online, including Richard Garriott, and more about him later, because there was a lot of drama. This game was a role-playing game that blended certain shooter aspects into the combat system. Unfortunately, the game failed to generate a significant amount of money during its initial release, despite its 7-year development period. And this is where the drama comes in. On November 11, 2008, in an open letter on the Tabula Rasa website, Garriott, the guy who was the co-designer of this game and also worked in Ultima Online, announced his plans to leave NCSoft to pursue new interests sparked by his spaceflight experience. Later, however, he claimed that the letter was forged by NCSoft as a means of forcing him out of his position, and he had no intention of leaving. He later on went to sue NCSoft for $28 million, and he won. On November 24, 2008, NCSoft announced that it planned to end the live service of the game, and the service eventually shut down. On number 4 we have Fury. This game lasted for a total amount of 294 days. Fury is a special case though, it seemed to be rather too much ahead of its time. It was a game based on nothing but PvP combat. It was developed by an Australian developer called Aron. Fury had 3 arena modes, a roster of skills, a ranking system, and loot aplenty. Unfortunately, the game also suffered from technical problems. Even though it was based on the Unreal 3 engine, which was pretty decent back then, it required a beefy computer to run, and it also had a fair share of lag and bugs. So the developer tried to revive the failing MMO by introducing prize money tournaments, esports, and later even moving to the free-to-play business. However, it was already too late, and the game eventually shut down. Number 3 on the list also was a special snowflake. This game was called Seed. Seed shut down less than 5 months after its official launch. It featured a cartoonish art style and gameplay totally without any form of combat. Seed instead emphasized on social interaction and role-playing. In the game, players had to resort to cooperation and knowledge to overcome the dangers of a post-apocalyptic world. However, it turns out that people would rather use guns. Go figure. The Danish developers soon ran out of the funds to keep the game running, and in the end it only ran for 194 days. So all previous games were pretty old, but there's a more recent game that only saw daylight for a short period of time. Sudden Attack 1 currently is one of the most successful MMO first-person shooters in Korea, and I think more Asian countries as well. Sudden Attack 2, however, was supposed to be its successor. However, it failed to meet the expectations. And also there was a lot of indecency complaints about the 2 female protagonists because they were too sexy. Nexon, the publisher of this game, even went as far as removing both characters from the game, but the damage was already done. The official reason stated that the team is deeply troubled by the feedback and will not be able to fix the problems within the short term. The game only lasted for 86 days. The shortest lived MMO was APB, or All Points Bulletin, developed by Real Time Worlds. APB launched on June 29, 2010 and ran for just 79 days before its closure was announced on 16 September 2010. APB launched to a great deal of hype, but ultimately flaws in the design, a company that was on the verge of collapse, and the failure to live up to some of the extreme expectations led to this game's downfall. The game reportedly costed $50 million to develop and was shut down when the developer went into administration. And that was our top 5 list of the shortest lived MMOs ever. We hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like. Sharing the video with your friends also helps this channel a lot. If you have any other suggestions for videos, feel free to let us know. Until next time.